Okay, I think we're recording. I'm pretty sure we're recording now. So
you can cut that out, right?
Yeah, but what's the fun in that? I mean, this is supposed to be, a rough. Ideally, it would be great if it was like the Joe Rogan podcast where we just end up talking and chatting about stuff instead of having to
3 hour
something that's like
3
super
hour long remodel podcast.
Yeah. But so we're calling this the OAC. And what does the OAC stand for?
Owner, architect, and contractor.
And what are those those meetings typically mean for you, John, in construction?
OAC meetings are an opportunity for all involved parties to gather, kind of get updates on the project, where it's at and where it's going. If we see any roadblocks or speed bumps along the way, it's a chance to dig into those issues, figure out if it is something that is a matter of the owner's choice, or if it's something that requires a greater level of professional attention from the design team. So it's just generally a way for us to be able to guarantee and demonstrate to the owner that they are receiving the project that they purchased, and a way for designers to verify that what we are putting in place is what they have designed.
Gotcha. So from a project standpoint, let's look at it in the lens of like a homeowner, at what point is having OAC meetings beneficial to them? So if I've got my home, let's say, let's compare, is a bathroom remodel versus say a home addition, so like an additional master bedroom and bath versus a complete rebuild. Where do you think, from a homeowner standpoint, OAC meetings are most beneficial? Because you're also looking at time from all parties and scope and project. And I'm adding too much, but I'm gonna let you take it from there.
Absolutely. So homeowners tend to be concerned with three things. That is quality, price, and project duration. Oftentimes, but not always, owners are living inside of the home as we are working. If for smaller remodels like bathrooms, kitchens, interiors, or exteriors. For home additions, people tend to move out. There's a few rare occasions where they may not. However, regardless, the longer a project takes, the longer that they are putting themselves up elsewhere. So they're very concerned with the schedule on the job, and so an owner is going to walk into that project and they're going to get to find out: are we on schedule? If not, what is the schedule impact, and why is that the case? Are you guys just moving slow? Did we run into unforeseen conditions that have altered the scope of the project? Have we run into weather delays in the case of exterior remodels or home additions? There's just so many different variables a project can run into that would extend its duration. And when we get into the OAC, it gives us a chance to touch base on where we're at there. And as long as we're able to communicate well with owners, everyone seems to be happy as long as we're on the same page.
Cool. So we've talked about what the OAC is as far as in the construction world, in between architect, owner, who's purchasing, who's building, who's designing. And how do you see this actually like relating to the OAC podcast, which is the first episode that we're doing right now? Where do you, and this is just, me spitballing with you, like where do you see this podcast going? Do you want it to be like more focused towards like speaking to homeowners? Is it to business individuals that are looking to build? Is it for architects, or is it just to kind of give a sphere of the construction world in itself?
I think I think this is a case in which all things are considered. Shout out NPR. But that's one of my favorite shows, is All Things Considered. But no, it's man, so this is a place where homeowners can come and listen, get to learn a little bit more about the mind of a contractor, understand technicalities of the industry. For example, what is an AIA document? What is a tab document? They can get to know different contract styles, the various advantages of each for larger projects. It'll give them a glimpse into trade knowledge, construction processes, because a lot of people have like big questions when things come up, right? What is lime stabilization and why is it important? The more that you know about your project and the better informed that you are, the more you are able to be comfortable with the things happening to or in your home. And the more comfortable you are working with us, if you feel like you can trust and verify what we are providing for you. This is a place for architects to come and once again just get inside the mind of a contractor. But architects are our friends, and so often in the industry, we end up with an adversarial relationship, and some of that is begotten of the type of contract that we enter into, which is something that we try to be proactive and sign contracts that incentivize everybody to work together. But I have a profound respect for architects. At the end of the day, Rooster is a design build company because we have an interest in architecture. We have an interest in just the aesthetic of the place that we live in, the impact that has on our lives. But also, my kids live here, and they're going to grow up here, and I care about the types of homes and buildings that are being built and the implications that has on their childhood. So for architects and contractors to work together, man, that's just great. And then as far as other contractors go, first and foremost, we want to be able to raise the bar for contractors. We want contractors to be professional, to be sophisticated, to be knowledgeable of the work that they are doing. Because this needs to be a top-notch industry. This is a place where construction accounts for 4% of the United States GDP, and yet it is less effective per dollar spent than any other industry in America. We want to change that. And I think one of the first ways that we change that is by raising the bar as far as how sophisticated is your business, how knowledgeable are your employees. If we account for 4% of the GDP, that means we're also one of the largest employers of any industry in the United States. And are we empowering our employees and giving them an opportunity to live materially fulfilling lives? Are we giving them the chance to grow in an equitable way? And dude, this is a podcast for anyone. I hope that people listen to this and say, man, I want to work in construction. I hope they listen to this and say, man, I want to work for Rooster, or I want to work for Tethered, just that kind of thing. I want homeowners to watch this and to hopefully like us, as unlikable as we are. But
You're a
also,
very likable person, John. What are you talking
yeah,
about?
but to feel comfortable, like I want people to watch this and to get to know us, to get to know our employees, and be like, dude, Mauricio is not just a good tile setter, like he's a good guy. I know a little bit about Mauricio and his family. I know a little bit about John and his family, or Josh, or whoever, right? And for us to be building a relationship together within our community. So yeah, this is for everyone.
Cool. Yeah, I was gonna try to bring that back around to being like, okay, this really is for anybody and everybody. Now, I mean,
Yeah.
for me personally, I think it'd be good to bring on and actually end up chatting with a variety of people, whether and we finish a project with somebody and we kind of maybe do a debrief, and even if it's like airing out some of the stuff that that didn't go well or whatever, and how we can improve upon that for the next time, or chatting with an architect, seeing what sort of design trends that they're seeing come about. This year in itself, I think, is going to be very interesting as far as real estate or design, because the pocketbook is being impacted. And we're going into an election year, and that's going to be interesting to see how the markets shift and change. A lot of people right now are probably kind of like holding off to see what is going to happen in November. And it's all kind of intrinsically tied together. We just got out of COVID, and that was a huge sort of like big bubble, weird transition for construction, because everybody was locked at home. And what are they going to do with their extra change if they can't travel and go somewhere? They're going to start working on their home, and that inadvertently, drove the cost and prices up for everything related to construction, at least from a residential side. But yeah,
Absolutely. I think there's room for us to dig in a number of things. Legislation around construction is in a exciting place right now, in which people are looking at empowering contractors and homeowners equally, suppressing the malicious intent of institutional buyers and whatnot. It's really interesting to see how it's developing. I certainly don't think it's perfect, but it's something that I want to be a part of. And I think that the regular citizens who are not involved in daily construction ought to have some working knowledge of, so we can get into the politics. We can get into a Q&A type deal. We can do like a get to know you kind of thing with various subcontractors and employees that we have. And we can air out the dirty laundry. Let's have the hard conversations. What are things that upset us? What are things that upset homeowners? What have we seen go wrong, and how did that happen? Kind of do like a debrief on that kind of deal, and empower people so that bad projects don't have to belong to them.
Yep. So I'm going to pivot on you real quick. So over the last, let's say 2 weeks, we've gone and estimated, I don't know what, 5, 6 bathrooms, maybe.
Yeah, bathrooms specifically. Yeah.
And it seems to be that there's kind of a trend right now that bathrooms are coming up, and people want bathrooms redone. And I got 3 questions for you to answer about bathrooms. So, what do you think adds the most value to a bathroom remodel? So, if you've got your toilet, your shower, your vanity, let's say the house is built in the, I don't know, 80s or 70s, what going in, renovating, gutting it is going to add the most value?
So clarifying question, value from the standpoint of ROI on the work done, So like, what's the best bang for your buck as far as updating and reselling, or what has the most value on aesthetic impact and updating your home? If your bathroom's outdated like mine and you have brown leopard spot granite countertops, right?
It's sexy.
What would be the most value added?
I want you to answer both of those because those are
Okay.
two different verticals that I think are very important
Mm-hmm.
in both regards. So think of them individually. So from an aesthetic standpoint, and then also from I guess, functional standpoint.
So that is excellent. I would say that from a functional standpoint, it's kind of the same answer for both of these questions. And I hope that it is helpful. So from a functional standpoint, when you're looking at an ROI, you're about to sell your house, or, you're just like, man, we moved into this thing, we've got to update it, or I absolutely can't stand the shower that we're living in, right? The best thing that you can do is update your aesthetic as far as your design, your colors, your patterns, your materials, right? Do you have a walk-in shower with frameless glass and brushed gold or matte black fixtures with white tile everywhere of varying textures and clean, well-defined lines in your vanity and countertop? Because that is popular. As you look at design trends, just open up Pinterest. Just open up Pinterest and look at what people are looking at and what they like. And it gives you a pretty good idea of what's going in the bathroom.
Is it manly to be on Pinterest, or is that something that you just don't ever commit to knowing or showing that you have a Pinterest account? That's a very important question as well.
So I would say that for our average customer, I would be concerned if the husband in a relationship is really driving their wife into Pinterest to design their home. I expect that to come definitely more from the wife, especially based on Pinterest's own data on their user demographics. But for myself, I do occasion Pinterest here and there, and I go to my wife and all of her friends and I say, what's trendy? Because I'm an artist, I'm a creative myself, so I have pretty strict things that I like as far as design principles are concerned, and different eras of architecture and whatnot. There's things that I look for that are both functional as well as aesthetic in my own designs. However, what I like is not always trendy, although I am very traditional in that sense. So turning to Pinterest or to my wife's friends and learning what is the Scandinavian interior design aesthetic, what is the farmhouse aesthetic, and the list goes on. And to be honest, knowing the names of each thing it gets a little bit beyond me, but the principles are all relatively the same right now. Minimalism is in, and by minimalism I don't mean throw away your TV and slim down your bookcase. I mean minimalism and design principles as far as simplicity in texture, simplicity in line contours, all of those things, right? That's very, very popular. Black and white has become popular. Gray as a neutral has become popular in lieu of, 4 years ago, there was kind of like this turquoise. It was just this gross turquoise color that people started using as an accent in their home. And it was frequently used for shutters, front doors, cabinets. I apologize if you painted your cabinets turquoise, but your home will not sell. at this point. It just won't. I've seen it and I've watched them on the market. It will, you have to repaint that if your intention is to sell. So that's an example of kind of what I'm talking about as far as how do you seek out what is popular. Pinterest is a great resource, you know. I also get I have a subscription to Los Angeles. What's it called, man? Hold on. Let me find it. No, that's not what I wanted. Bookmarks. It's the Los Angeles Forum, The Real Deal, right? And they release all kinds of articles on real estate, on architecture and design. It's a really fun place to be. Not always promoting my personal style, but it may be a good fit for you. So what I would say is that minimizing relocation of plumbing fixtures is going to add value to your home from a dollar standpoint. The cost of moving those things is going to be astronomical, opposed to leaving them where they are. And that's for a variety of reasons. You know, so if you're looking at just updating your bathroom or resale value, that kind of thing, you just don't move things around. Just update your aesthetic. People don't think as hard as you might think they do. When someone is viewing a house, they're looking for a feeling that oftentimes they cannot express, right? And it is your job as a seller to be able to provide them with that feeling, which leads to their assurance of their love for your property and pushes them to the point where they want to submit an offer. And the aesthetic of the home, more often than not, is what hurts that. It's not the size of the bedrooms. It's not going to be the layout of the kitchen or the bathrooms and whatnot. People that are a little finicky about bathroom layout and things of that sort are likely to just go ahead and do that work when they purchase the home, right? Mm-hmm. If you hear any crazy noises in the background, my dog Lucy is sprinting in circles around the house, panting. In any event, so that's what you're doing is you're just trying to kind of like bolster your ability to convince people to sell there, you know? Now, if you're an individual who has purchased a home, who is unsatisfied with the layout of your bathroom, which we often run into, you know, making changes for your comfort and function is a different matter than saying, I want to make this home attractive to others and I want it to sell. That's a completely different thing. And the value of your own comfort and the value of your family's ability to function is difficult to enumerate. So paying an extra $3,000 to say, we want to rip out this tub, we want to put in a custom pan, we want shower heads on both sides with a center drain, and you're just like, you just don't care about your plumbing budget. You're like, yeah, blow that thing up to $5,000, whatever. Like we'll pay thousands of dollars extra just because we want the James Bond shower experience. You know, we want luxury, that kind of thing. So if that's what you want, then you're not really worried about anything else.
True. All right, my next question about bathrooms. Where is it? Where to go? What comes first in a bathroom remodel?
Comes first?
Yeah, what comes first?
Design.
Design?
Yeah, well, I guess what gives birth to the requirement of design is that feeling that I was talking about.
Okay.
Everything starts with a feeling inside of someone that leads them to the conclusion that something here must change. We want to figure out what that feeling is. We want to be able to define it.
Yeah.
And then from there, we can come up with a solution that will change that feeling, hopefully to one of contentment and joy.
And how long, obviously this is a loaded question. If you've got a standard, say 12 by 6 bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
how long would it take to remodel that bathroom? So you're stripping it down to the studs.
Mm-hmm.
You've got, let's say, prefabricated cabinets that you're buying, I don't know, at Home Depot, and everything is in stock. So there's no weird caveats. If you've got everything on site and that first hammer that you swing, how long is it going to take? How long should it take? Bar no like weird, undisclosed things that you can't see behind the walls. How long do you think a bathroom remodel should take?
So that is a broad question, but I will answer it in this way. Your standard, for like your kids' bedrooms, like that kind of bathroom.
Yeah.
So for a standard Jack and Jill model, or like a 6x12, I have executed on that in 6 days in the past, and that 6 days included a customer who had a cast iron sewer system, and as soon as we removed the tub, the top of that pipe cracked, and when it lost the supportive weight, it fell and it cracked underneath their house. And so that includes me staying on site until 11:30 one night, replacing a sewer line immediately so that the homeowner didn't have to live through that smell.
Yeah.
And so that included running into like a very serious problem.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that depending, something that's going to really drive the train on this one is the volume of tile work and the amount of grout that is needing to be done.
Yeah.
Because that can extend the project for another week, at the very least for another week. So I would say if I was just talking to like an average customer, you call me, I go out and visit your house. We talk through the scope, we talk through design, we get through all of that. And you're looking at me saying, how long do you think this is going to take? Because we're going to have to share our bathroom with our kids, and that we've got 3 of them. It's going to be hectic, right? I know what that's like. I don't want my daughter in my bathroom. That's for sure. So I would look at someone and say 2 to 3 weeks. If they were just looking for a ballpark. And then, of course, when we provide our proposals, we list a project duration by work days. We do not like to work Saturdays, but we will when necessary. And we do not work Sundays unless something crazy happens. If there's a plumbing line that starts leaking and we need to run in and take care of business, we'll do that on a Sunday, but we observe the Sabbath. So that's the general answer I would give, but it's difficult. We've got a master bathroom that we're looking at taking on in the next, I don't know, hopefully in the next month. There's insurance is involved in that, so they're always a stick in the mud as far as getting things goes. But that bathroom I actually expect is going to take more like 3 to 4 weeks, and we're moving around walls. There's a lot of work involved in that, so that might take us a little bit longer. But again, that's not your standard 6x12.
Yeah. We should probably do a whole episode on insurance, as painful as that may be or sounds.
That would actually be an excellent time to air out some dirty laundry and talk about what not to do with insurance. Because I've seen projects go south a couple of times with insurance involved.
Yeah, no, I believe that. They don't want to pay. So no offense to insurance companies, but
no, they don't care about the client and they don't care about the contractor. They care about their profitability.
Yeah. Cool. We're making enemies already. I love it.
That's how it goes.
Well, is there anything else you want to chat about for this first OAC?
I don't think so, man. I guess I think that this OAC aligns with our company values and wanting to provide any of our partners with the fullness of transparency. We want to be good stewards of people's time and money. And I think that this podcast can contribute to that.
Awesome. Well, this is the first AOC. No, sorry. That was blasphemy. OAC. On that note, we're out.